Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video and I'm working on a single page layout for my San Diego album. This is the last photo I have from when we were on Coronado Island looking at all of the actual things on the island. We were leaving the hotel here and this is kind of what's out the front / side of it. And I just loved the look of it. I loved this gold in the fountain, that the sun was right behind this palm tree, and just decided to catch it, and it turned out rather well. So now I have to figure out what to do with it. This will be on the back of another 4x8 layout that I have. So in order to get that to work, that means I have to have a full background, which I don't have. I'm guessing I'll probably have to trim this down and then mat it, but maybe not. I mean, it really depends on the background paper I find. Then I have a bunch of stuff from my San Diego bin. So I just have some clear pieces that I had thrown in, acetate pieces. And then these are all things I thought might work with the color scheme, or they're related to paradise, warm climate, that kind of stuff. And then these are just kind of some miscellaneous travel items, but I had put them together for the colors because I really wanted sort of bright sunny colors for this. So I have those out here ready to go. We'll see if I end up using any of those. But obviously I think the first trick is to find a background that I like. And I'm thinking maybe yellow because I've got this gold in here. Obviously I'd prefer to find a scrap of something that I have already rather than cut into a new piece of paper. But if I found the perfect piece, I would cut into it and it would be fine. So we'll just see what I can do with all of my stash. I think I'm going to go with this yellow piece I have. I had cut this down. This is what's on the other side. I had cut this down because I wanted to use this for something. And I have this left. It's a 6x8 that I cut it down to, but I can cut it again into a 4x8 and I'll still have a 2-inch strip, which is great for like when I have pocket pages that have 2x2 squares in them. So just want to make sure I get it right up to the line here. There we go. So luckily I'll have this whole piece left, and I'm more likely to use the yellow, if I'm honest, than I am to reuse this side. So that works out quite well. And now I have this. So this is how they will look together. Now I have to decide, do I want to just use it like that and just have the top and bottom available for embellishing and maybe something on here, or do I want to cut this down so that there's a wider border across and maybe matte? I'm not sure. So I think what I'll do is keep this as is for now, and then I'll start looking through this stuff and see, does it look okay if I just layer some of that over this and I don't have to trim the photo? We'll find out. So I have found 2 things in that pile of stuff. I thought I'd find more, but I found 2 things that I'm considering using. I like this sticker because it's got palm trees on it, but I also like that it's got this bright pink. I think it might be fun to try and incorporate in that somehow maybe. But then I also like this one that just says soak it all in. It's a little more neutral. I think the fake staples here work with the other things happening and the colors that are in there. But then I don't know what else I would put with it. That's the problem. This gives me a little bit more to work with in terms of color. So I'm not sure. I may pull out my pink embellishments from here and just see if I can find something. I would also consider the multicolored ones. Let me find those in here just to see, like, is there something that maybe had pink and yellow in there? Yeah, these. Maybe there's something in there that might work too. I think I may have found a way to incorporate the pink. I didn't come across anything in my multicolored items that would work, but in the bright pinks, I have this, which is a pretty good match to the font that's down here. And I'm wondering if I can just like tuck that in up there for the color and then layer something, either in a green that's brighter like this to pull that in, or something maybe that has a white background with yellow font if I were to use a phrase. So I think that's what I'm shooting for. I really wanted to have bright colors that are eye-catching and fun. So I think I'm going to use this as my base and just hope I can build from there. I have found a couple of other items that I'm considering. I still like this one, but I found this just in my pile of things I sort of half used, and I kept the other half, but it's the right green. So I'm wondering if I can layer that in some way. And then on this sheet of chipboard, I have this that just says happy, but it's got pink writing, which it's not exactly like that, but I feel like maybe I can get away with it. It looks pretty good with this. So I'm just wondering if I can layer these three somehow. That would make them all work together. But I like the idea of having the varied colors, and they're all very bright, which is what I was after. So I'm just gonna see what I can do with all of that. I think I've devised a way I can do this. If I keep the pink up here where I liked it to begin with, I can overlap the green here and then maybe take this and overlap like that. That way all three things get used, but you can still see all of them, which I want. I could put in a little rhinestone right here, maybe even just a clear one, just to bring in some extra dimension and sparkle. I think that might work. And then here, I can stamp a small phrase if I want. I could put in maybe an asterisk. I don't think I'd want a star or a heart. I don't think that really would go, but maybe an asterisk. I could also just leave it plain if I want to and just sort of use it for the color, but we'll see. I'm gonna at least layer these and then decide what else I want to do. I have attached all three of those pieces and I'm very happy with that. I also decided just to put in a little staple there. And then I also put down the sticker here just to make sure I really like it, and I do. So I think this is all good. I am wondering though, if I need to maybe work in a little bit of washi or something down here to help with that bright pink. Potentially I could lift this up maybe and put some underneath there. I think I do have one that's close to this color that's a very narrow strip, so I could do that as well. Then I have to figure out rhinestones. I do have quite a few in different colors, so I will grab out one of those next. I have found the washi I want to use. I thought I had a narrow one that was this kind of like dark pink fuchsia color, but I don't. But I do have this one, and I like this pattern and color a lot, but it's too wide. So I'm going to just kind of lift up the bottom here, tuck this under so that only about half of this is showing, or at least that's my plan. And then I can run it part of the way. I don't think I'm going to do it all the way, maybe just halfway even, just to there, just to get in some of that extra pink. It was a little tricky to lift all of this up and not wreck it. I got a little bit of a mark there at the bottom, but I don't think it's too noticeable. But I was able to get the washi underneath there, and I think it looks great. I'm very happy with that. So I have that done. Now I'm just going to use some rhinestones here. Well, I really only want one. There's a clear one right there. I can get it picked up there. And let's see what it would look like. I think that's fine. I thought maybe the green, but I think that would look weird. I think that's too much. Yeah, I don't like that. Because there's so much green here, I think the clear option is actually the better choice. So I'm gonna go with that. All right, I have everything adhered on here, including my rhinestone that I picked, and I think it would be fine as is, but I'm going to put some of this white gloss spray on, just a little bit to bring in more of the white. And normally it does still show up fairly well on a lighter colored paper, so I'm hoping that's the case here. But if I do it and it doesn't really show up, it's not really gonna harm anything. It still looks good as is, but I'm willing to give it a try. I've done the ink splattering. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. It's not completely dry yet, but it mostly is. It didn't do a whole lot. I mean, it doesn't leave like a huge impression, but you can tell it's there. I think that's subtle enough. I'm not too worried about that. So I'm going to keep it as is. And here's another one done for San Diego. Thanks for watching.